Okay, so let's walk through just the solutions to our test review. So the first one here, we were asked to find the solution set to the inequality. So remember, the solution set to the inequality are things that are going to be on the shaded area or on a solid line. Now, looking at this inequality, we know two things. We know the shading and we know the line type. So the shading, we see that y is greater, so we're going to be shaded above. And the line type, since it is just a greater than, it's not a greater than or equal to, it is going to be a dotted line. Just on those two ones, we know that A and B are not it. So if we look at C and D, since we already know it's shaded above, the only one that is shaded above is our answer choice D. Okay. Let's look at number 2. So number 2 is one I told you it could be tricky. So look here, it graphed the equation, but it asks you to give the solution set of the inequality. So what do we know about this inequality? Well, we know the two things. We know where it's going to be shaded. It is going to be shaded above, and we also know the line type, that it's going to be a dotted line. Okay. So what you may have to do on your test is, I know this is tricky because it is graphed with a solid line, but remember, on the inequality, this is a dotted line. Why is the dotted line important? It's important because a solution set cannot be on the dotted line, only on a solid line. Okay, and we know that on the shading, it is going to be anywhere above. So for this, the solution can only occur in the shaded area. Okay, now some of you chose this one right here, this B, but look where B lies. B lies on the dotted line. Okay, it cannot lie on the dotted line, so this is not it. Okay, the only one that's going to be in the shaded area is A. Let's look at number 3. So number 3 is it is asking us to find the rate of change. Rate of change is nothing more than another name for slope. So remember, rate of change is that y2 minus y1 over our x2 minus our x1. So here, if we label our points, here's x1, y1, x2, y2, and we plug it in. I have 604 minus 460 over 18 minus 0, and this is a good time when you can plug all of this into Desmos. So we have 604 minus 460, that is 144, and then 18 minus 0 is 18, and we simplify that. We have a rate of change of 8. Let's look at number 4. So number 4 is asking for the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is, where does this cross the y-axis? So remember, this is our y. Where does it cross? Well, it crosses right here. We need to write that as an ordered pair. Remember, ordered pairs are x comma y. Our x is a 0, our y is -6. There is the solution to number 4. Okay. Let's look at number 5. Okay, so number 5 asks you to find the x-intercept of -1. So on our x-intercept, we're looking here. That's not -1. This is not it, because that's an x-intercept of +1. Now these two may work. This has an x-intercept of -1, x-intercept of -1. So right now we're down to C and D. It's also asking a y-intercept of +5. So here is our y. Where is this crossing our +5? And our D is the answer. So now let's look at number 6. Okay, so which graph best represents 4x plus y equals -14? Okay, so this is one that, because it is in standard form, you can use that cover-up method. Just find the intercepts. We have our x-intercept and our y-intercept. So remember, to find the x-intercept, we just cover up the y. So we're left with 4x equals negative 14, okay? We have x equals negative 14 over 4, and if we simplify that, we have an x-intercept of negative 3.5. So the A would work, C would work. So right now we're left with A and C. That would be our only options because that would be our x-intercept. Okay, now if we find our y-intercept, so remember, to find the y-intercept, we just cover up the x. So here for our y-intercept, I'm going to cover up the 4x. I'm left with a y-intercept of negative 14. Well, the only one that would be close to having a y-intercept of negative 14 is going to be here, and that's going to be C. So looking at number 7, what is the rate of change of y with respect to x for this function? It's just looking for slope. Okay, so first look at this graph. Going down the steps, so you know this is a negative slope. So get rid of the answer choices that are not going to make this true. We know A is not it and C is not it because they're positive. Okay. We already have the 2 points, so you can go ahead and draw your slope triangle. Remember that slope is the change of y over the change of x. So we went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went down 6. We went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we can simplify this to negative 3 over 4. Let's look at number 8. So number 8, it wants us, it has the graph of the linear function. It's telling us it passes through the points, negative 7, negative 4, and 7, 6 as shown. So it gave us 2 points to find the slope, and it wants to know what are the slope and the y-intercept. So first, look at the y-intercept. Let's see if we can eliminate any of the answers. So the y-intercept here is positive 1. So we already know we can get rid of C, and we can get rid of A. And now from here, because I'm given the 2 points, I can plug them into my slope formula, x1, y1, x2, y2, and I can do 6 minus negative 4. Remember, I put that parentheses in there so I can capture the negative. And then x2, 7 minus negative 7, capture the negative. So I'm left with positive 10 over 14. And that will simplify down to 5 over 7. So on number 8, B is going to be my answer. Okay. Let's look at number 9. So number 9, inequality again, which order pairs in the solution set. So I'm just going to look at my inequality. My inequality tells me 2 things. One, I'm going to be graphed on a solid line, and I'm shaded down. Okay. So if I were to graph this, I'm starting at negative 6, and 1, 2, 3 over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can go in reverse. I'm just going to create this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. It's going to look something like this with a solid line. And I am shading down. So my solution set needs to be somewhere on that solid line or in the shaded area. So now I'm going to start to look at my, my answer choices. Okay. And there's 2 ways we can do this. So I'm going to look at my answer choices. I have 5, negative 4. Well, that pops up on my solid line. That will work. Negative 2, negative 5 will not. That's in my non. 9, comma 1, that's up here, and negative 8, 3. So the only answer as part of my solution is going to be A. The other thing that you can do is to be part of the solution. You can plug in each of these answer choices into the inequality. If they make the inequality true, then they are part of the solution set. Okay, let's look at the next one. So here, yeah, I got the slope kind of off a little bit, but works the same. So we have our inequality again. I'm looking for a graph that is shaded above and has a solid line. That's what the inequalities tell me, shaded above and a solid line. So I already know, because A and B are dotted lines, they're not it. Looking at C and D, which ones are shaded above, and that's going to be my D. Looking at number 11, so the graph is already there. It's through the point 1, -9, has a slope at -3. It's asking me, what is the 0? Here, all I wanted to know is, do you know what 0 means? Well, 0 is another name for x-intercept. So the x-intercept is where this crosses. What is the x-intercept here? 4 it is. And then last, the graph, just seeing if we can interpret. So it's asking, what is statement describes the x-intercept? First, let's find the x-intercept. The x-intercept is here at 60. So what does this mean? Let's get rid of the two that do not make sense. So we already know the x-intercept is 60, so D and B are not it. D and B gave us the y-intercept. So it tells us, let's see, the x-intercept is 60, which represents the initial balance. Well, the label on the graph alone tells us that it's the number of payments. So this is the initial balance. Well, no, because that would mean the initial balance is 60 or 0. That's not it. The x-intercept is 60, which represents the number of monthly payments needed to repay the loan. That is correct. The loan started at $27,500 and it took them 60 months to repay the loan. So C is the answer.